So if we wanted to get really clever, if we wanted to combine the two, some of the different functions we've already talked about, and we'll use color it. So I'm going to click on here and let's match that red there. So I'll click and then come down here and copy that hexadecimal code, and I'll paste that in there. There it is, and that's done. I'm now going to save that, and now when I refresh my screen, we notice that that's saved. It might be a little bit hard to tell that on your screen at home, so just for fun, let's also include, and now of course that we know where to edit it, and that's often, you know, the whole reason why Firebug exists is that often the hardest thing is finding out where to actually edit. That's the thing that people you know, question me the most on the Joomla forums. So many of them might already understand how to you know, a bit of basic CSS, but they just need to be pointed in the right direction of where to edit it, and this is what Firebug's so fantastic for. Let's just go font size, and we'll just go 18 pixels just for example, and let's go font weight bold. Oops, don't forget to put the little semicolons at the end of each line. Oops, not like that though. Okay, so we'll go, we'll save that file and we'll refresh that again, and there it is. The changes are made and it's matching that red, which is quite nice. So, you know, for some people what I've just shown you is probably enough for them to get them going. That's probably all they needed to now know where and how to go and edit things. For example, you know, obviously one of the biggest things is how do I edit my logo. So I've clicked on inspect, put my mouse directly over the logo, or the whole, you know, because you can see there it's putting it over the whole header. Here it's just the logo, and just to be sure, when I click on it now, if I come down to the side here, I can see that it's got first of all it's got div ID logo, it's also got the div ID header, header left, header right. The reason it does that, just very briefly, header left and the letter right, is for these curved images here. So that's the right one, so it needs to have a div tag there to put that image there, and a div tag there to put that image there, and that one is the whole. When I click on div header, div ID header, that's putting it across the whole header. So all we need is the div ID logo, so we click on that, move across to our style sheet, put our mouse over where it says image, and you can see it even shows you a little, which is just so cool, it even shows you a little thumbnail of what the image is probably going to look like. And just to test, even if I was to just click in there and press backspace, we can now see that it's got rid of the logo. So yes, I'm in the right spot. There is no doubting now that I'm in the right spot. So we'll just refresh that for a second. So we've got div ID, we know that's our logo, and we know that it's located within the images directory of your template, because that's what this here indicates. The two little dots means just go back up to the default to one directory above, and then go from there. So if we scroll all the way across on that, in fact we might just copy that, and we'll just put that into a notepad. There's the full path there, images mw joomla logo.png. Okay, so now if we go into our template directory, which is this one here, open images, and we can go down mw joomla logo png. There it is there. I have seen people get confused sometimes with you know, other logos, and they say, oh, I've changed that logo, but that's the best way to actually find out which one is there is the actual logo. And of course, if I just turn on the thumbnails view now, there it is. So now there's two ways to edit that. You can either come up with your own logo and replace the whole lot, which is what we're going to do, or you could just simply come up with your own logo and rename this one to say .old, and rename yours to that, and it will replace it. Let's just do it the other way because I think it's a little better. Okay, so let's talk about a simple way of being able to edit your images for Joomla. Some of you may have some very sophisticated image editing programs, and I'd be lying if I said that I don't use some of those as well, and we won't mention them, but that's awesome. Some people simply won't have the access to those. There are many alternatives which are free, not only free but also open source, and we all love open source. One of them, if you just do a Google search for GIMP, G-I-M-P, you should find that the very first result is the GIMP image editing software, and it's simply awesome. Go ahead and download that. Again, you want to choose the right, there we go, if you're Windows or if you're Linux. I'm not sure if it does it for Mac. Forgive me, I'm just not sure, but if it does, then go on, you can use it as well. You might have something else anyway. Download that. It's not a very big download, and install it. Go through the steps, step by step, and install it. Once you have it installed, launch it. It'll be a quirky little program that might confuse you a little bit in terms of how its layout and stuff, but you'll notice it doesn't fill the whole window. It has some workspaces that you can use. It's really good. So here's how I would go about editing that file. The first thing you want to do is either make a new file with a transparent background, or open an existing one with one. It's my opinion the easiest way is to open the file you want to modify, because chances are you don't want to modify its size, its dimension, how it works. You just simply want to modify how it looks. So here's what I would do. I would open, go to your location, find your file, MW Joomla logo, there it is. It gives you a little thumbnail of it. And up it comes. You'll notice it has this checkered background. That indicates that it's on a transparent background because it's a PNG. It's very, very important to note that that's the case. Okay. So again, this is the file that we know represents this logo over here. Okay. So just go back to that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to first thing I'm going to do is do a save as and call it something like new logo.png and save it in the same location. And I'll click on save, and I'm also going to click on save background color. I know that doesn't make sense, but this is the way GIMP does it. So you want to save background color, because that's going to make sure it saves it as a transparent background, and that's it. So now what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to select all. I just pressed Control A for select all, or you can go select all, and then I'm just going to press delete on my keyboard, and that will delete whatever's there. And then I'm not going to get very creative. I'm just going to do something very crude. This is the new logo. Close, and we can see that that's and we should be able to move that around a bit, and you can probably you know, change the size. I'm not that familiar with the GIMP, but you can. How could I change size on that? Probably find that. Oh, here we go. Over here, size text. So we'll just ramp that up a bit to say 24, and there you go. It's and we'll just have to increase the bounding box there now, just to make sure it's going to move. We'll position that in the middle. There we go. That looks about fine. This will look very, very crude. I need to explain to you, but we're really doing it for the purpose of the exercise. So once we have that, then we want to go and file, save. We've already done the save as. So if we save, and you should get this warning here. You don't want a flatten image. You just want to merge visible layers, because it says the PNG plugin can't handle layers, and that's fine. We just need it to save the background.